Well, welcome to another video. Today we got a rooftop tent which is set up in the backyard for a test fitting. I got this for a bargain, about half price. It was never used, but it had been damaged in transit. So there's a slight tear on the fly here, bit of damage underneath. Now the plan is, I have a number 5 trailer on the back of this vehicle over here, which we can zoom in on. And I'm planning on putting a frame up here and putting it on top of that, so I can use the original canvas and still have this tent as well. So I'm going to go do some measurements and see how we can fit it on. I've got to sit down for a bit. This project's changed a bit. I got news this morning I'd never in a million years expect to have got. A very close mate of mine and his wife, they're close friends of mine, have been for years. My mate woke up this morning and couldn't wake his wife up. So we're going to go up there and sort this out, which means I'm changing plans on this trailer. I can't wait for time for that frame to be done. I've got to improvise what I can. We need that camping space. Alright, I had to take a moment to compose myself. So yeah, we still don't know why or what caused it. Yeah, she was in her late 20s. There's cops and ambulances and everything at the moment. He's about 2 days drive away and he definitely needs the help. So we're going to take the 6-wheel drive up, going to mod the trailer. I've got to take a bit of money out. We're probably taking the Jeep as well, not to be confused with a Land Rover. A lot of people do. We have both. So it's going to be expensive. So obviously my channel schedule is going to go out the window. Can't be helped. But does mean I need to get my mosey on and get this all set up and sorted. So we're just going to mount this however we can, and we'll figure it out when we get back. So let's go have a look at this tent, see what the damage is, see what we can do. We did a test setup on this last night, and the kid found it and camped in it overnight. So we're going to clean all this out, then we're going to go have a look at our mounting hardware. Right, amongst all the other things we got that's stacked up here randomly, that box is the brand new awning that's never been used as well. The whole thing's never been used. We've got a ladder here. Now, the ladder doesn't have holes for the height that we're going to need. I did work out what that was and position it. I gave these things a bit of a tap with a hammer, and they've left an indentation in the track where I want to drill a stop hole. We've got these rails here, which I notice are almost exactly the right length to fit across the trailer. We might just drill holes straight in here. Now this has a steel bar like this that goes in the holes at the end here, and this camouflage canvas goes over the top. It might work that this can hide under that canvas once it's on there. Although originally I was going to have a frame that stands off a bit and goes up here so the tent can stay up nice and high, and we can still have the canvas underneath here and store stuff. But middle ground for short notice might be that we do this. I don't have the $1,000 right now to pay to have the other frame made up. Now for the underside, we've got a sheet of aluminium to maybe patch it up. We'll look at that in a minute. We've got some mounting hardware here. One with a hole in it for some reason. I'm sure that will become obvious why there's a hole in it when I go to put them on. We have the ladder brackets in here, and we have these mounting slots. They go in the end of that. All of that will be handy. I think we've got enough hardware here to mount it securely. Alright, we've got the floor out, and I've measured the holes that are in the floor, and they are 820mm apart in every direction, which means I can use it at either direction, 90 or 0 degrees, whichever you prefer. So we have the mounting kit and some tape. I'm going to chuck these in and tape them down on the inside. Alright, the bolts and washers are through here, the nuts are in my pocket. We can probably flip this over now. And now our bolts stick up, which makes life a little easier. Now this is the damage we were looking at. Let's push through the bottom here a bit. This is kind of like foam core. We've got a piece of aluminium we're going to slap over this. And then I've got to work out which way those rails need to go before I do that. Alright, so I want this to fold off the passenger side for a bunch of reasons I'll discuss later. So I've worked out this is the orientation of the rails I need. Now, the profile of this stuff means that the nut I'm going to put in the bottom is going to be captive, which means I can't just drop the nuts on here and tighten them up like that. I'm going to need a second person. It's going to be a pain in the ass. Alright, so I've taken a bit of blue tack here and I've just stuck the nuts loosely in position over the holes. Makes life a little easier. Now I need the financial manager over here to help me out. Alright, we've got the financial manager doing the hard work. Now, we did have to re-drill the lower hole in that one. It was about probably 2 millimeters off. And they did oblong the holes, but not enough. Alright, we're nearly there. Okay, we got these bits successfully bolted on. Now the damaged section is actually under here. So I think the downward force is not going to be too much of a problem, but the issue I'm now facing is my double plate is likely to be very ineffective there. We do want to keep a bit of water out of it. So I have some spray silicone with a tube on it that I've added. I should be able to spray a bit of silicone into that to seal it up to keep the water out. And we will get this working for this trip. It's not too hard to drill these rivets out and replace the floor if I ever need to. So, to that end, we're going to get a bit of this happening and just spray a bit of silicone in here. This is neutral cure roof and gutter silicone. So I'll do a couple of applications of that, let it dry, and then we'll get this thing on the trailer. Alright, we've walked it little by little all the way up here. Now I'm going to slide it up and across. Hopefully I don't give myself a hernia. Let's see. Okay, we want it slightly this way to help keep the balance right. Two reasons. One, for overcoming aircraft. We'll wait for him to fly past. They're doing circuits today. Now, primarily, trailers track better when your weight is slightly to the front. And also it means if my apprentice is in here, there's not much way she can get off balance in the back of the trailer. So it should work out a little easier. Okay. Now we need measuring tape. Okay. We are going to go 350 mil off the back. Alright, now we go put the other one in the same spot. Alright, now we've got our positions marked fairly evenly. This one might be a bit skewy or they're just, the holes are not quite central on these. Anyway, it should be square enough. We're going to try and get our holes pretty well right there, and we'll be using a couple of these. So I'm going to take one of them off the bolts and use that as an indicator to try and get it flush on the edge of the trailer, and we'll try and drill a hole in the best possible spot. Now, one of the reasons I've done the markings I have is I want to put an end cap in here. I need this to line up at least like that. So we're going to give it a little bit of room there, and we're going to mark our hole out there, and hopefully this will go in without too much trouble. Bit of WD for lubrication. Pre-drill with a small drill bit first. That's what we want to see. As usual, I pushed record again and the roulettes are in the air. Okay, so we go in that way up. Okay, let's drill the rest of the holes. Alright, we've got a bit of a sketchy camera mount here. We're going to try and get these into position now. I've got one bolt on the other side that I may not be able to tighten up properly because I was about 3 mil out with my drilling. But we'll see. Alright, we've got everything in place and I've got things sorted out. It was a bit tricky. This one I drilled just a tiny bit too close to that. There is a cavity under there I can get a socket on, but I've had to pack it out to get the nut on. This will be the tricky one to get in position. We'll work on that one first. Alright, it took some trickery, but we got the nut tight, and for a change the supplied spanner was actually handy for the job. Well, that was tedious, but anyway, she's on and it's not moving anywhere. I can shake the trailer around and we could probably pick the trailer up with it. So it's on firmly. Now we've got to get the ladder fitted to it. Alright, so I moved things to where there's a bit more room, attached to the back of the 6-wheel drive. So let's fold it out. Okay, so back door needs to be down. Okay, so there's an issue I didn't anticipate. We can't put it up with the door open, and we can't open the door once it's up. So we will have to detach. However, I do still have a stand that I made to go under the back here when we had it set up as a different camper. Let me show you that. So this little chalk covered box that's now my kids' cubby house used to be a folding camper we had in that trailer. We took out because we wanted the trailer back again, and the roof actually takes the bar and the canvas off the top of the existing trailer. We could put that back in, but too much trouble and we can't store anything in there. So, pain in the ass. Alright, so ladder's fitted, and I've got my marks that I made earlier on. We're going to drill them out, and that should bring the ladder up to nicely even on that. Roughly 30 degrees, maybe a little bit more, but we should be alright at that angle. But yes, we're just going to detach this, I think, and I'll put a stand under the back for the time being. Okay, a couple of locator holes drilled, and that it does drop in. There we go, locked into position. We're good. Now, this is a specially shaped piece of wood. It was designed to fit into this hitch behind here, so it could hang out and hold the ropes while we were setting up that folding tent, which there is an episode on, by the way. I'll try and remember to put that link in the description. If I don't, remind me, leave a comment. And the other side of it, with this little notch out of here, shove under here and we give it a kick, and that's our stand for the back of it to stop it tipping backwards. And we have a set of wheel chocks as well. I think that'll do. We might detach and see if we can climb in. Now, the next question I had is, was this going to fit in here? Now, it actually sits a bit higher than it should because of the ladder, but that does suggest that we might be able to squeeze the canvas over the top. So we're going to give it a shot. Here's our canvas over here. Well, it's going to sit a little bit high. Maybe if I pull the bar out, it might go in. Well, it won't be completely waterproof, but it should keep some of the rain off. We'll put the original cover on it anyway, or maybe I'll just fold this up and put it underneath just in case we need it. We are expecting rain, but I guess we just won't store anything water damageable underneath the tent. In any case, this is a short-term fix. The frame we will want to put on here. So I think, based on what I've learnt today, the frame I will get will be towards the back of the trailer, and we'll store our heavy jerry cans up the front. At least it is somewhat functional. Now I need to detach and see if it will tip over. Alright, we are detached. Got our support bar in the back, and yes, a couple of wheel chocks to stop it rolling away. And we leveled it out with the foot. So yeah, we'll see how we go. Alright, so I'm laying in here and I'm about 144 kilos. If I lay on the trailer side, it's not tipping back. If I roll forward, we're not tipping down. We're doing pretty good. And I've got an alright view up here. This is actually reasonably comfortable. So if it takes me, it'll certainly take my kid. I'm going to snooze for a few minutes. Alright, well that concludes this video. It's been a lot happening. My apprentice is in the tent on the other side out here. We've got Rick and Morty on the projector. We're doing a test camp in the front yard. Boiling vessel's just boiled. I'm about to make a cup of tea. Fox and milk from inside. If this all goes well, this will be good. We'll be on the road probably for, I don't know how long, a week, maybe 2. I don't know. It's going to take us 2 days to get there, especially at the speed I drive, or this thing drives. So yeah, in any case, not the perfect application of the tent, but it's going to work well enough for what we need. And we'll get back to you in another video with the drawbacks as to how it worked and how it didn't work. So yeah, see you later. Hope the next one is some more positive news. I really do.